Hi, this is Fazana again. Welcome to yet another new topic on the Fazmaths channel. This topic is now part of the GCSE Maths 9 to 1 syllabus. It's a relatively easy topic, so let's do so many questions together. We'll have covered every possible variety of question and the marks will be guaranteed. Sounds good, yeah? Let's look at the basics. Okay, a function is really just another way of writing an equation. So if we put a value of x in here, something gets done to it, either multiplying, adding, subtracting, dividing, and what comes out is f of x, so the function of x. Yeah, all right? So very much like when we used to do in year 5, with a function machine, you've got a number 6, you multiply it by 3, so you get 18. But here we write 3x, yeah? So you'd get 18, and then plus 5, and you get 23, yeah? So we'd be writing 3x plus 5, okay? So function x would be 3x plus 5. Okay, as easy as that, yeah? It just sounds difficult when you think about functions, GCSE, but that's it at its basic, okay? So we just have to interpret simple expressions as functions with inputs and outputs, interpret the reverse process as the inverse function. Now, the inverse function is just rearranging the subject, yeah? So if you're not familiar or feel comfortable about rearranging the subject, then please watch my videos on rearranging the subject. So over here, if we had 3x plus 5, so all we do is do y equals 3x plus 5, and then we rearrange it to make x the subject. So we'd go minus 5, so we'd go y minus 5 equals 3x, and what's been multiplied by the x? Times 3, so we divide by 3, so we go y minus 5 divided by 3 equals x, and then where we've got the y, we just put the x back. So the inverse of 3x plus 5 would be x minus 5 over 3, okay? And that would be your function, inverse function of x. So it's written as f minus 1, okay? And then interpret the succession of two functions as a composite function. So you can tell there's two different functions that have happened. So f of x could be multiplied by 3, and then g of x would be the plus 5. So it's just a function followed by another function, okay? So what you have in this function is put into that function, and you get the result, okay? So it's as basic as that. As long as you remember this, then every other question will be relatively easy. All right, let's have a look. Okay, so given that f of x is x minus 4, if you put 5 into it, yeah, what would you get? So all you go is f of x is, and instead of x, you put the 5, and you get 5 minus 4 equals 1. All right? F of 3, so again, f of x would be 3 minus 4, and you'd get minus 1. Okay, yeah, so that's functions at its most basic. All right, so it's really good 1 or 2 marks in your pocket. Okay, given that g of x is 2x squared minus 10, again, you just put x as being 2 in there. So you're going g of 2 equals 2 times 2 squared, and then minus 10. So that comes to 4 times 2 is 8, minus 10 equals minus 2. All right? Yeah? Okay, g of minus 2, so we go g of minus 2. Don't know why I'm writing it again. So you've got 2 times minus 2 squared, minus 10. So minus 2 squared still comes to 4, so 4 times 2 is 8, minus 10 equals minus 2. Okay, so both of these are the same. And then solve gx equals 8. So x has gone through the function and you've got 8 as the result. So you can tell that 2x squared minus 10 equals 8 in order to find the value of that x. So all we do is we go 2x squared minus 10 equals 8. We take the 10 to the other side, so plus 10. So you've got 2x squared equals 18. Divide by 2. So x squared equals 9, and square root it, so x equals plus or minus 3. Okay, and if you think about it, that's the reason they gave you this question, to make you realize that even if you put 2 in there, 2 squared comes to 4, and minus 2 squared comes to 4. Yeah, so that when you have a question part A or part B, remember it could be connected to the part before. Okay, so that be careful that you get the plus and the negative. All right, cool, very good. Let's move on. Okay, given that fx is 3x minus 5, find f of 3. So that's really easy. So we just go 3 times 3 minus 5. That would give you 9 minus 5 equals 4. Okay, here we'd have 3 times minus 2 minus 5. That gives you minus 6 minus 5 is minus 11. Okay, solve f of x equals 1, so that 3x minus 5 equals 1. So 3x minus 5 equals 1. Add your 5. 3x equals 6. Divide by 3, x equals 2. A lot of people just sort of start writing, and although this, you think, oh, but this takes so long, can you see it gives you a sense of direction? Yeah, please always say what you're going to do. It takes relatively, a few seconds to do, a second here, a second there, but it just gives you a sense of direction. And if you're doing something wrong, something's going to jump out at you. Yeah, so it's so easy to just write 6 there, but because you've got that divide by 3, you go divide by 3, divide by 3. Yeah, you sort of remember what you're doing. Okay, yeah, really useful. Okay, next, the function f is such that fx equals 4x minus 7. So again, we have to solve it. So that means 4x minus 7 equals 17, plus 7, 4x equals 24, divide by 4, x equals 6. Can you see again? Sorry, I'm going on about it again, but this becomes like a computer program in your head, yeah? And you find you're just writing and you're not actually thinking, yeah? Brilliant. Okay. Last one. Given fx equals x squared plus 2 and gx equals x plus 14, find the values of a such that f of a equals g of a. Okay, so you can tell that would be equal to that, yeah? So if we put our a in there, you know that that will be equal to that. So that's all you have to do. So you go x squared plus 2 equals x plus 14, yeah? And you could change it to a. But I'll continue with x because I love my x's, and then I'll just put a equals there, yeah? Okay, you can tell that this is a quadratic. So with quadratics, we always make one side 0. So we're going to minus the x. We do the opposite in order to remove it, and minus 14. So we're going to get x squared minus x, and then 2 minus 14 is minus 12. Okay, it's a simple 1x squared. So we're thinking of two numbers that add to give -1, multiply to give -12. If it multiplies to get a negative, then one must be a positive and one must be a negative. And we look at factors of 12 that have a difference of 1. And you can tell it'll be -4 and +3. Remember, the sign of the bigger number always rules, because -4 plus 3 will give you -1. And then it's really easy, you just put it in double brackets. X minus 4 equals 0. So that means x could be -3 or x equals 4. Okay, so A would be -3 or A equals 4. All right, wasn't that simple? Wasn't it? Okay, now we're okay with the basics. Join me in part 2 to get more confident. Keep practicing. It's all about practicing. Okay? And remember, you're in control. Until next time, take care. Bye.